and welcome to Columbus, folks, the world-famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
Y'all Scarlet Unis, I think they look sweet.
So the good news keeps rolling in for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They are 2-0. They dominated Grambling State and did what they were supposed to do. Not much to take away from that game. But now it's on to OU at Ohio Stadium. It's a night game. Should be an electric and fun atmosphere. Obviously, this is one of those type of games that you play to prepare for your next opponent, which will be Washington. But for this video, I do want to keep things at this week and talk about the matchup with Ohio. I want to talk about some of the weapons we discovered in last week's game. I want to talk about what Ryan Day has been saying, because there's a lot of good news and things happening with this team. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so Ryan Day in one of his most recent press conferences talked a lot about the tight end unit, and honestly all off season I talked about the transfer in Max Clare, and he is super talented and is going to get a lot of usage this season. But man, did Will Kazmarek impress me. He caught the first touchdown of the game, breaking himself open down the middle of the field, and then through the game, he just made play after play after play. And in the Texas game, we did see Clare drop a wide open pass on 4th down, but it was in the first quarter, and it was probably just because of jitters. It's a big difference playing at the shoe to open up a season against Texas instead of playing at Purdue like he's used to. If we give Max Clare enough time to get comfortable, he will be just fine. But man, this is the first season in a while where the Buckeyes have multiple tight ends that can make a huge impact. Another great development through the early part of the season has been the defense. Again, I know it was Grambling and it was not really a D1 team, but still it's been 2 games and this Ohio State defense has given up only 7 points. So let's talk about who the standout players have been and how this feat has been getting accomplished. The first player I'm going to talk about is just stating the obvious. You can argue he's the best player in all of college football, and that is Caleb Downs. He has become the true centerpiece of this defense. All offseason I talked about how he is a guy you can build around. He's the foundation. He has elite range, top-notch instincts. If you watch a game and truly watch, you'll notice him before every play, always pointing things out and being the captain in that secondary. And then on top of the mental stuff, physically, he is a guy that will actually make the play. He's a playmaker. There are so many guys with high IQs and they can read and predict things and they study film, but then they can't actually make the play when it's in front of them. Downs does both. He knows what's about to happen and he executes, which is what makes him a future top 5 NFL draft pick. The next standout player has been CJ Hicks. He definitely was an X factor in the Texas game. He has been making his mark in both pass rushing and also in defending the run. He has registered 2 sacks and multiple pressures from the linebacker and edge positions. He's been beating tackles with sheer athleticism and timing, and on 3rd and long situations, some of Hicks' blitzes have been almost unblockable. His ability to play 30+ snaps at high intensity has really made him vital in sustaining Ohio State's defensive momentum. The next player is an interesting one, and I'm switching over to the offense real quick because he is new to the spotlight, but his name is certainly not, and that is Bo Jackson, the running back who we finally got to see out on the field after the Buckeyes were up big against Grambling. He had a touchdown, and he showed us all that he has a super high ceiling. I know this season is about CJ Donaldson and James Peoples, but it's good to know in the back of your head if an injury happens or somebody underperforms that there is a guy behind with a lot of upside. I know I'm just kind of talking about half the team at this point, but that is how many X factors there have been in just 2 games. And getting back to the defense, I want to talk about the duo back in the secondary in David Igbinosun and Jermaine Matthews. Both corners have been consistently effective in coverage, allowing less than a 65% completion rate and single-digit yards per catch. Matthews had a big interception in a huge moment on Arch Manning and multiple contested pass breakups, while Igbinosun had erased the deep threats with sticky man coverage and also an elite display of zone awareness. Their press technique and ability to transition in coverage has limited the opponents so far in passing efficiency and prevented any touchdown receptions in the first 2 games, which is just crazy to say. Under new coordinator Matt Patricia, this defense's multiplicity has been a major upgrade, and I mean major. I don't know if it's possible to start out your career with a team better than he has. He's brought advanced disguises on 3rd downs, single high and trap coverages and zone blitzes that have forced multiple turnovers and 4th down stops. Specific film study so far has shown Downs reacting flawlessly to slant throws, Hicks erasing a double team with burst off the edge to force a strip sack, and McDonald splitting a center guard combo for a 4th down stop. So that overall is really what's up with this defense. Now for another great development, it's Julian Sayin. He has been amazing. It's unreal what he has done so far. The numbers don't even tell the whole story. They have been almost flawless, and he has not forced the issue. That's the main thing. Even that Texas game, the Ohio State offense only scored 2 total touchdowns, but Sayin didn't overreact to when his receivers were uncharacteristically dropping passes, especially Jeremiah Smith. He didn't throw the football into traffic, he just hit his open guys. He has not been afraid to make the check down passes either, and I think as the season goes on, he's going to get more comfortable with things. He's going to look for Jeremiah Smith more often out in space. He's going to let the football fly, because we have to remember this is his first year as a starter, and stepping in to play at the shoe for Ohio State is still a huge thing that most people would not be able to handle. Alright, now let's move on to Saturday night with the game coming up against Ohio. To tell you a little bit about them, their quarterback is named Parker Navarro. He is their senior leader that over the last 2 games has led this team to a pretty productive offense when you look at things in perspective. Now in terms of their defensive standouts, they have Michael Molnar, who's a linebacker. He was named MAC Defensive Player of the Week last week for week 2. He racked up tackles and made key plays in both outings so far, and he helped to limit West Virginia's offense. And then they have Chase Wilson, another linebacker, who posted impressive stats in the opener with 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and also a pass breakup. And he has shown throughout the early part of the season that he can be effective and make an impact both in coverage and also blitzing. They also have Fred Perry, who's a safety, and he recorded 10 tackles, a sack, and 2 pass breakups early in the first 2 weeks, and he's been an important enforcer for them in the back end of that secondary. Now for their receivers, they have Caleb Gissett. I think I said that name right, correct me if I'm wrong. He's their senior guy with multiple catches, and he's always provided consistent production, especially through the early part of this season. And then they have another junior who's been a deep threat, but overall, I don't think it should be too much for Ohio State's secondary to handle. In week 1, as I mentioned, the Bobcats lost a close shootout to the Rutgers. The final score was 31-34. Navarro threw 3 TDs, and Bangura topped 100 rushing yards. And then on defense, Wilson, Molnar, and Perry all posted some pretty big numbers, including sacks and turnovers that helped Ohio stifle West Virginia's offense in week 2. I actually have a friend that goes to West Virginia named Darian Lewis. Shout out to him. But unfortunately, they lost that game. So for the Buckeyes, the game plan is pretty simple. Just stick to what works, attack early and often through the air, get the ball to Jeremiah Smith, and once you're up by 3 or 4 touchdowns, just run the ball and take away time. And it should be a fun night and fun environment at home. It's not often we get to see Big Ten games at night, especially at the shoe. It's 2 Ohio teams. My main message, again, is just to have fun, both the players and also the fans. That's really all I got for this video. There is so much great things happening with the Ohio State Buckeyes right now. I know Ryan Day pretty much every day has just been praising certain players on this team. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Drop your score predictions for this upcoming game in the comments below, and let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.